Going on, guys? My name is Saad Khan, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about phenylketonuria, which is a rare genetic condition. As you can see on the right side of the screen, there's a big old molecule, which is an amino acid um, that is phenylalanine. But phenylketonuria is a rare genetic condition that's characterized by the inability to break down the amino acid phenylalanine into tyrosine. This is because the PAH gene has been mutated, the phenylalanine hydroxylase gene. It's been mutated so that it cannot work functionally, and the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase is unable to convert phenylalanine into tyrosine. Phenylketonuria is a genetic condition that is autosomal recessive, which in short terms basically means that it is a 0.25 chance, or a 25% chance to inherit phenylketonuria, PKU, if both of the parents are carriers. The likelihood and the risk of PKU is dependent on where you live and your parents' genes for PKU. So looking over here at this Punnett square, if we think about carrier 1 and carrier 2, the carrier parent 1 and carrier parent 2, let's just say that they are carriers, so their alleles would be big A, little a, and since we know that PKU is a homozygous recessive condition, a genetic condition, we know that we need both little a's for the phenotype of PKU to be present. So that would leave us with a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 being homozygous dominant for not having PKU, and 2 being a carrier. So there's a 50% chance that the offspring of the 2 carrier parents would be a carrier as well. And then 1, just the 25% chance of the offspring having PKU. And like I said before, PKU, phenylketonuria, is also dependent on where you live. But on average in the world, according to Medline Plus Genetics, which is a website that did a recent study on PKU, there's a 1 in 25,000 chance that a newborn baby will be born with phenylketonuria. But yes, it's more common in Europe than it is in Africa. In Africa, it's closer to about 1 in 50,000, while in Europe, it's 1 in 20,000. A little deeper into how PKU is really caused, we can look at the PAH gene, which stands for the phenylalanine hydroxylase gene. Now, that's not very a creative name, but the PAH gene, the phenylalanine hydroxylase gene, is responsible for creating the enzyme called phenylalanine hydroxylase, which takes phenylalanine right here and hydroxylates it, meaning that it adds a hydroxyl group, as you can see right here on the right side, which is the OH group, the oxygen group added to that phenyl ring, converting it into tyrosine. Now, if the PAH gene, the phenylalanine hydroxylase gene, is mutated, it can no longer provide the instructions for the production of phenylalanine hydroxylase. Therefore, phenylalanine cannot turn into tyrosine. So, phenylalanine, which will be consumed in someone's regular diet, if not directly used, will be produced, or not produced, but will accumulate in excess, leading to a wide number of, a wide array of symptoms and health complications. The accumulation of phenylalanine in the body, throughout the bloodstream and everywhere else in the body, A lot of signs and symptoms can show up in newborn babies and individuals who have a more developed form of phenylketonuria. But a few of them that I have here up on the screen are musty odor in the breath, musty odor in the skin, and in the urine from the phenylalanine building up. Newborn babies have also been found to have seizures, and these seizures can continue throughout the life of the person since phenylketonuria is usually not fatal. Eczema has also been seen in patients with phenylketonuria. This is usually found in more developed patients as it's not as common in the younger age. With the higher amount of accumulation, you are able to find more cases of eczema with people with PKU. And newborn babies have also been found to be born with microcephaly. And basically, microcephaly is this condition. As you can see, this baby has a significantly smaller head than expected. And it is a genetic disorder, but it's due to the amount of phenylalanine in the bottle. I mean, in the body. I'm sorry. But microcephaly is obviously not a good thing. It leads to a lot of intellectual disabilities and like developmental delays. So like the speech and the motor skills of a person will be delayed, and it'll overall cause some more behavior problems or problems with coordination and balance. And then those behavioral problems can also lead to a bunch of mental health disorders, and also heart problems. So as you can see, PKU is a highly impactful genetic condition if left untreated. Before we figure out how to treat somebody with PKU, it'll probably be important to figure out if they even have PKU or not. And so obviously you can check out those signs and symptoms, and if you're seeing those signs and symptoms with a newborn baby and you haven't already gotten screening for your baby, you might want to go get them checked for all that. And so what they would do is, what should be done usually is with a newborn baby, after about 1 to 2 days after the baby has had some sort of protein, like let's just say the protein has phenylalanine in it, the baby would be able to get a blood draw, which they would take a very small amount of blood, usually from their foot or their hands, and that blood would get sent to a general testing, which will check not just for the genetic condition of phenylketonuria, but many other things. And through that testing, the the results will be able to show whether or not that baby has phenylketonuria or not, by seeing if there's an excess amount of phenylketonuria and other signs that will show whether or not the diagnosis of phenylketonuria is positive or negative. So, assuming that the poor baby has phenylketonuria, what would we do for that baby? And the number one thing that you can do for somebody who cannot break down phenylalanine is to try to avoid mass amounts of phenylalanine. Now, unfortunately, phenylalanine is a amino acid that is found in many, many proteins, and proteins are found in many, many foods. And so the common foods that I have here are milk, eggs, cheese, any kind of meats, even fish, and beans. And so they need to have some sort of modified diet for their whole life that has a different type of protein in it that does not have phenylalanine, so that they don't have that phenylalanine buildup in their body. Another important thing that they'll have to do to keep, to make sure that the PKU is not getting out of control and is monitored, is to take regular lab testing. And so this is an important part to see how the progression of the PKU is and make sure that it's kept under control. So since PKU is a somewhat common and still ongoing genetic condition that has not been, avoided or and it has no other cure. There's a good amount of research that's still been going on by scientists to try to figure out how they can treat patients with PKU. One group used mRNA therapy, which basically they deliver lab-made phenylalanine hydroxylase, which is again the enzyme that converts phenylalanine into tyrosine, which will eventually reduce the buildup of phenylalanine in the body. But they do this by using lipid nanoparticles that can deliver that mRNA into liver cells. And once it's in the liver cell, that phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme can do what it needs to do to convert that phenylalanine to tyrosine. Another group used genome editing with HDR, which HDR stands for homology directed repair, and they used nuclease mediated DNA cleavage. They also used CRISPR, which stands for clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats. What the CRISPR and the Cas9 system does is a similar thing where the Cas9 system will go ahead and cut out those parts of the DNA which will allow it to build itself back up correctly. So the phenylalanine hydroxylase gene will be able to rebuild itself up properly. Another group used genome editing via zinc finger nucleases, which is very similar. It's just another nuclease that will cut or cleave that portion of the genetic information. But there's a lot of different groups that are using these kind of nucleases to edit that part of the gene. There's lots of nucleases like meganucleases and talons, which is transcription activator like effector nucleases. But of course, more research will be put into this. I'm not sure how far people are willing to go for PKU, but just like any other condition, it does require a lot of attention because PKU is not going anywhere, and it's important to help those who have been affected with it in their lives. If you're interested, please reach out to me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video about phenylketonuria. Make sure you smash that like button and smash that subscribe button down below, and comment any other cool genetic conditions you'd like me to go over next. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care, and thank you for watching.